YouTube, it's Manic giving y'all some knowledge straight out of my 10th house. I want to get deep in this video about thought forms and how to know if you really on some spirit time or not, you know? Are you going to be the vessel that gets utilized, or are you going to be an example to lead others in the right direction? You're going to be a spirit that's going to shine your light and, let your all your colors show? Are you going to let your internal yin realm, you're going to let that be, are you going to play that out external to be an example to show others the way, give them a better example, give them something they can build upon so they can understand the spirit realm and understand that everything's not external and not everything is material at the end of the day. I had to delete the 7 chakra basic video because I wasn't I didn't really I knew see me knowing that the 7 chakras in Western like Western astrology and things like that, or just the Western, not even astrology, just the Western example of Western spirituality. Basically, Western spirituality definitely has some truth to it, obviously. I mean, it's like modernized. It was close to the truth, but it kind of got turned, like it kind of, it changed throughout, as it got passed down. This knowledge, knowledge changes as people pass it to others, because that's just how it goes. And it's like, you know that it really does help if you know the 7 chakras, because you'll understand, you really will get an understanding of how these energy bodies work. But really, what you need to know is that you use all 7 chakras every day, and you definitely have more than 7 chakras. Actually, you have tons of chakras. But and these colors, the way that they portray them, as you would know them, look it up online. The colors are right. Well, as far as the chakras going down the body, I'm gonna remake a chakra video in the future. But I really just want to get deep about the mind and how, as a spirit, obviously, that we created that mind. So yeah, after we created the organs, as once we were in a space, and we had awareness, let me use that as a starting point, as a space where we had awareness. And let me say, that we use that awareness to form and develop these minds and light bodies. Okay, after we fell and went and followed another spirit into this realm of light, of light bearing, and this light realm, this external realm where we play out our internals. So we were in a space as a spirit, in that space that once we made that mind and we developed a light body to go into, because you're going to be naked as a spirit when you're just sitting up there with no mind or no intellect, right? So look, once you made your first mind, depending on what that would be, your first mind, your first chakra, and your first container that you could hold some type of form and liquid in your non-flammable gas that you are. And I'm just going to use this as an example because these elements really only play out here, but you can use the elements that you see every day. You can use those as an example of how you as a spirit created these things in the first place. Because as a spirit, you were in some type of form, to derive the environment around us, not the other way around. You see, that's where people get lost, and this is why people have been lost for a very, very long time. People never had it, never, I'm real into that ancient Egyptian knowledge. I'm into African spirituality just as much as the next guy in conscious community. I've dug deep as much as I can. Like, I'm a deep thinker. Gemini, moon, deep thinker. I always I'm logically analyzing my feelings, and I'm always trying to come up with concepts in my mind and try to understanding. So, like, as much as everything that I've done in the past has seemed like, love and light and things like that, I had to really understand what our mind does and what we do as spirits, whether that's good or bad, and whether that benefits me or not. I got to be unbiased, and I got to understand what we're really doing. So once you understand what we're really doing when we made the chakras and we bended in the light on itself and we followed someone else into this realm. So we created our mind, and that mind is something you jumped into as a container, and you can hold something now. Now you have like a basket, you can hold some things, you can gain experience. That's a circle, you could say, a circumference where you can gain experience as your space. So once you form these chakras and followed somebody else that knew how to make these chakras, you learned how to copy that, and we also followed and formed these chakras, and when we dropped down onto a third dimensional physical vessel. So we dropped down into this vessel, and we brought in our first breath, and we received and we've just straight up been receiving since we dropped down here. It's just all you just receive, and you got to put out just as much as you receive, because we're also putting out as spirits the same way, and you got to learn how to put out what you're putting out is probably what's going to come back, because we live in a 360, and the universe knows exactly the type of energy you're putting out, whether to somebody else it may look good or bad. The universe knows exactly what energy you're trying to put out, and you will get back the energy that you are giving, or the energy that you already feel. You'll get back in some type of manifestation way, But yeah, get into these. Okay, so the mind, once you form these light bodies and these lights, you could say, you once you jumped into these light bodies formed into organs. Once you fell down here, once you dropped onto a dense level, onto the densest form that we're at right now, you formed these organs, and you formed a real brain from your chakras, and I formed a real voice from my chakras. I formed all this, DNA still plays a role, science still plays a role, but things you can't see, you can't always see your spirit, because that's not even this stuff plays out in different dimensions. In different dimensions, you're not able to see on a third dimensional level, which we can only see with these 2 eyes right now. You see, so exactly what's really out here getting these scientists and the different people trying to calculate these things physically, it gets them lost, because not everything on a physical level that you dropped in. See, we made this. I'm gonna say a spirit, whoever you may believe in a certain spirit as someone that you would see their example. I'm gonna say that all this nature and things, you will never be able to use nature to calculate your existence, because your existence is what was used to form the nature. You see what I'm saying? So you have to go straight to the source. So when I'm in my mind, when I'm in my yin realm, when I'm in the esoteric, when I'm in the esoteric gym, getting my fitness on, when I'm working my mind out, when I'm using these light bodies, when I'm using these things to form once you're spiritual when you're really using your light bodies to understand things, and you're not just sitting around calculating things through a nature point of view, when nature is something that derived out of your animalistic natures. You know what I'm saying? We created the external with the internal, believe me or not, but that's just what it is, and that's what I'm gonna say, because this is where I'm at. I started on a good building block, a good foundation now, and I can't get knocked down. See, this is the problem with most spiritual conclusions that people might come to, or just ideas in the first place, is that they start on a weak foundation that can get knocked over as soon as somebody disproves something that just doesn't seem real to them, or knocks down their belief system, and now they feel like they're naked and they don't got no type of belief or faith, to have some type of comfort, But yeah, once you really know what you're doing, then that's when you're being a real spirit. Or even if you don't even know what you're doing, at least use your own brain, and at least don't even just don't follow others. As long as you're using your own brain some way, you're following God, you're being a good example of how to use your own brain, whether you're coming up with the wrong ideas or the right ideas, the right masculines, maybe coming up with the right feelings, the right feminines, you know what I'm saying? As long as you are forming these things yourself, and you're using your own mind, you can't go wrong, But so when we're trying to understand these light bodies and things like that as something we formed, so let's just say so we formed these things as a spirit when we jump down into them, when we 360'd on ourselves, bended in to experience all this, we utilize these things every day. We use all these chakras, these minds. You don't always think with your brain. That's another wrong concept that may lead you to confusion, is when you think that your brain is the one doing all the thinking, doing all the calculating, all the logic. I mean, most logic is part of the left brain, but that's still is part of these chakras. And certain chakras you have, certain light bodies, containers, could play out masculine, feminine. That's just how chakras work. It's how everything in this existence as we know it was formed masculine and feminine, with thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying? Plays out the same way. We play these things out down here with vessels as men's and women's, because we created these things first in a different light, in a different realm. So yeah, this is where I'm at. I just want to kick to y'all some. I'm just trying to give y'all some knowledge and break it down for y'all to give y'all a better understanding. But really, I'm kind of just, this is more of just like a rant, you know. I'm kind of just going on. Might lose topic a little bit because, you know, this is not really much planning. This is just, I just wanted to come and give off some information. I've been gaining a lot of information. Let me just go ahead and give that off, and let me broadcast it through a 10th house, you know, astrology way, you know, because my Capricorn, like, I gotta give that to y'all, that Capricorn type energy. Gotta broadcast that for y'all. So yeah, you know, this is where I'm at right now. Once you gotta learn how to use your minds. You gotta use the minds. Yeah, man. I just want to give y'all my point of views on things and the way I'm seeing things today. The way I'm understanding and utilizing my experience. So, you know, I'm not gonna get too deep. I'm not gonna get too, you know, off topic here. I'm not gonna like just, you know, this is just deep into the mind, you know, deep into the mind. I'm gonna have more videos coming. I'm gonna have some videos about astrology, things like that. You know, constant learning is great. You know, you're always adding on to yourself in a way when you're learning, and make sure you're getting some good knowledge. Make sure the knowledge you're getting in out here, you're not, you know, like, you'll know when you're getting some knowledge. You got to learn how to really let your spirit do the talking for you, man. Let your spirit and God play out. Let that shine through you. You know, don't stop using these. Stop using the devil and stop using your Lucifers to, you know, govern the things that you're doing, and to play. Don't use your Lucifer to play out examples for others. All right, that's the one thing you got to learn. But yeah, this is manic. You know what I'm saying? Coming at y'all again. I'm gonna drop some more videos soon. I'll see y'all. Stay tuned.